Well, there were good parts of this week and there were bad parts of this week. And here's just a taste of what's to come in this episode.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed
Man.
on the powerless when the cup's already
I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
Tennessee was hit. 2 weeks ago, we had some floods that were higher than I've seen in a long time, and that people had heard about in a while. It took 5 days of rain for us to get to that level. This was one day. This all happened in one day. And we're right back up to that same flood level 2 weeks later. It was a brutal storm. A lot of water, a lot of rain. Look at that. Now all the clouds are getting purple.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when the cup's already overfilled. But it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and they're farming babies while the slaves are all.
Really kind of wonderful. I wonder where river is. This is what happens when there's a flood. Everything that can floats and gets into the water from everywhere, and then it's just when you get to a back area where I would normally be, like to keep my boat, this is what it looks like. There's a little land right there where we could pull the boat up to, but there's only about 6 or 8 inches until it overruns that, which to me, I think it'll be there by this afternoon. No point in even going there. I think this is kind of important to point out. So right here, we're in the middle of the backwater. I'm not in a creek that's filled with fresh water coming out of these hills. I'm just in this little midpoint where the backwater is, and there's no current here. And honestly, I don't know that if there's no wind, I don't think any of the water ever moves in here. It just slowly leaks its way out. Look at this log will be right where that log is in 4 hours. It was just gonna float there. This is where I park my boat. I'll park right there on the side of the cliff right there, and there won't be any current that comes by my boat, you know? That's where a lot of people, if you just go and you tie your boat up for 2 weeks and you leave it out there, it doesn't really matter where it's storming or what happens with the water. You're just out here. The other thing is, if it's not windy and I could anchor out here, you would have no problems with the water going up and down, you know? You're anchored out in the middle. It doesn't matter. You could just stay here forever. It wouldn't matter. I really like taking river and cricket out on the beach, which is why I'm right next to shore all the time. I really don't think they make it better where, you know, I like sandy beaches and I like having the water by like stone cliffs and stuff, but these cliffs that are covered in forest that are coming straight down into the water, it doesn't get more stunning than that. It's just water and then just complete forest. And once all these leaves are on this tree, it's going to be a huge green wall. I love it back here. I actually love it back here. Now we are going to head a few miles down this backwater and into a creek. It has 5 main channels that come into it, which I'll show on the map, and this one goes way back pretty far into the woods here, so we're going to check it out. I've come here 3 years in a row. I parked here the first year, cut down some trees so I could make it all the way to here the second year, cut down that tree so I could make it all the way past it, and this will be the furthest I've ever gone, right up to where all 4 of these creeks line up. Good boy. And from what I can see, there's at least 5 of these towards the river as this creek gets bigger. Nature's mirror, still water, is stunning to me. Look down there into this miraculous world. It's my cat. What do you think of this new place? So the river splits into a bunch of different rivers, and my boat can only go about 20 feet into each one, so we've parked here. She just grabbed my leg. What are you doing? She's excited. Look at her. Hey, River, come here. Come here, bud. Oh, I promise you, Cricket's going over that little bridge. And I bet it probably can't hold me to get her back. I'll have to actually call her back. She's thinking about it already. All right, I'm going to barbecue some chicken. I went to Walmart today and got provisions because I'm going to stay out here for a while. And there's no internet, there's no hookup, there's nothing. I'm going to be building campfires and yeah, got provisions. I'm excited. This is the time of year that I let the water go down and let the boat stay still and just kind of live out in the woods. Not even worried about weather because the boat's just on land almost. Look at this. So we came in that way. You could come in, if there wasn't trees blocked, you could come in the way we were looking at right there, or right in front. That's up the creek, and that's up the creek. But that starts to be too narrow for the houseboat, like it would almost jam in right there. That's wide enough for the houseboat, but there's a tree down 20 feet ahead of it. And I'll be honest with you, I've come here this is my 4th year. The first year I anchored right inside and didn't do anything. The second year I pulled in and I cut a bunch of trees out so I could pull in further. The third year I pulled all the way in, and then I made a video of me chainsawing this tree out of the way. And this is the 4th year, and now I came all the way in here as far as the boat can go. After cutting tree after tree after tree for years to get in here. So, it's my island. I earned it. Cooking some chicken. I went through and cut away some of the thorns. I made a trail right here and a trail along the creek right there for River to play fetch without running through the thorns. River. Oh, that's our first beaver. This absolutely had to be a beaver. But that's not Felix. I mean, we're more than 3 miles away from where we were last time. In the last episode. River, get over here right now. Now that he knows he can go to that island it's on, he's going to be there the whole time. So in the morning, the water will either come up and a lot of this will be gone, or the water will go down and the bank will be right. If River took a step off that island, he'd be in 8 feet of water. The river bank comes right along in front of him. So I got this at the store today, and it's a mini chopped salad. I got 3 of them. They don't last that long in the refrigerator, but I'll eat one for lunch for the next few days. But I'm going to make this with the chicken, and I think it'll be great. I'll tear off some of the chicken and mix it into the salad as a spicy. So it's got this like spicy pickle flavor in the dressing, almost like a Big Mac, and it's going with the chicken really, really good. Really good. So a lot of the island got taken over by water again. It's like we're in spring like this. It happens once every other week, where the water jumps up and jumps back down, and jumps up and jumps back down. You can kind of take advantage of it to get into spots, but can't stay long because the water's going to go back down. But I think I'm going to stay here in the deep end of the pool. So I have a pretty good trail going along the shoreline here, having cut most of the thorns. Look at how clear the water is. You can see down about 3 or 4 feet. It's got this perfect turquoise hue to it. I could come through and cut a couple of these right here. But this is a pretty good trail so far. I don't know what kind of trees these are, but they don't have any thorns on them, so they don't bother me at all. And then the thorns just overrun them. Look at that. They use them to get up in the air. We're gonna go out on the river and see how the weather is. Got a lot of sunlight in here, even though it's trees all over the place and we're in the middle of the forest. There's no leaves, so. And it's pretty calm. It looks like there's wind out there, so we're hiding pretty good from the wind in here. I'm gonna pull out into the bay and go through comments and answer comments, and maybe send a short or two out. Get some work done, and then come back to the boat and relax. Now I wanted to show you guys how Navionics breaks down the different creeks here on the map in this lake. So when you come here, it looks like a lake, but Navionics breaks down the deeper parts from up on top, so you can actually see what is a creek. This is for people who think that this river is dirty water. And this is for people who think that there's garbage everywhere. I picked it up. See? It's all in the garbage bag now. So now there's no garbage anywhere around here. I want to see if you guys, first off, look how clean this water is. You can see right where the actual edge of the bank goes down. But look at my haul. River, I'm not pointing out any animals. See how crazy he is about me videoing? Look how much my boat really doesn't go under the water. It's, you know, if you look at it, it's about 3 inches of clearance. And if I'm out of the boat and I'm walking in front of it and the motor's up, you can walk this thing across very, very shallow water. It's unbelievable how shallow water it'll go through. Let me see if we can come back over here and show you the back. Look at that. It's about 4 inches. If he steps off the bank, you can see the bank is right in front of him and he'll go swimming right there. And then the motor is a good, I always say, doesn't touch bottom to 9 inches, but it's about, you know, it's probably only 6 inches in the water. I could measure it. I could pull it up and measure it, but the boat itself has extremely low clearance. You can get it into very, very low water without trouble at all. You can see the bank right here, how it goes around that tree. That tree hangs off of the bank. And then the floodwaters have all taken over this last night. Sandy little beach. But it'll go down. You can tell, so when I'm back here, see that leaf not moving at all? It's not in the wind. But it's also not moving in or out, which means we're at top peak level and we're sitting here. Once it starts to drain, the stuff in the water will start showing itself moving out slowly. Or moving in if we're filling. And that's a way for you to know if you're going to wake up with less water or that kind of thing. You know? Just look at it. Yeah, you can see the sand underneath there, the sandy beach. I wish you could hear the wind howling through here. There's some really serious wind out there, but it's not getting into us. I bet you can see the trees though. Look at them moving around up there. He is sure hanging off the front of the boat today. The water, when the water is this clear and you can see down 3 or 4 feet, he goes out there. Here you can actually see the land. See that land is about a foot down and you can see all the leaves. But when you're looking straight down, my camera doesn't show it very well. You can see all the way down a couple of feet. And he loves to go after every single fish or anything that moves anywhere. Look at him, he's nuts. He's loving it. Alright, so there's no internet anywhere near where the houseboat is, so we come out here to answer questions on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube and reply to comments, and then we post a couple of videos and we go back into the woods because I live in the woods now with my boat for this couple of weeks. I see these tree roots everywhere where they grew when there was land and rocks, and you can see how they staggered like a lightning bolt through the tough part of the soil and worked its way through the easy part that it could get through. And then the soil washes away and you can see it. And it's just this, it's a plant that's grew like a lightning bolt. It's really cool. Now you could see my houseboat. So if someone was fishing in this bay right here, they could see the boat. But if it was, oh, I left the back light on this whole time. If it was summertime, this would all be leaves and you couldn't see me at all. Someone asked me if I ever forget where I parked my boat or like my RV, when I would live in the RV and back roads and pretty much just park on the edge of some gravel road or out in the middle of a field. I've never done that. I've never had a problem with remembering where the boats are. What I do is when I Google the nearest store or the nearest laundromat, I would think I was going to a place where I had been there before, or I'd be like, oh, I'm going to the place where they make those great roast beef sandwiches, and then I get there and it wasn't it. It was a different store that I had been to, but it wasn't the one that I remembered. So I would goof up things that I do every other week or every week or so, but I never forget where my boat is or anything like that. And I don't get lost anymore. I got lost the first year a couple of times and used GPS, but I don't get lost anymore. See that leaf? is going out, slowly going out to the lake. That means the water is receding. And this island was almost completely underwater last night, and now it's not. So the water's starting to go down. This little part of land that sticks out a little bit, I got to get the boat off of that, and then the boat will be floating completely. So we're going to do that right now. How did you look? He's not wet. I don't even know how he got over there. So that bridge goes there, and then he must have found something on that to cover that creek too. Go around. Go around. Don't swim. Go around. I don't want you out. Oh, you're going to fucking swim. All right. Well, I mean, that's another way to get here. See, it's 8 feet deep, isn't it? Oh, come on. Hey, look at me. Is there something wrong with your leg? Stay, stay, stay. Hey, hey. Oh, it's a leaf. All right. So he probably, there's this tree, and then that tree right there must go over, or one right there. And then he was, so he jumped. You have something wrong with your paw? Hold on, stay, 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 stay. I'm coming to you, buddy. Let's see it. Oh yeah, a thorn. Yeah, I know, I got it, I got it. You're a good boy. We're gonna go put the trail camera over there. Alright, I'm coming with you. River! See, this is all, you can tell the floodwater pushed through here. Caught all the leaves on all the thorns pushing through here. This is whale after that whale of it. Come here! Oh, it breaks off into 2 more creeks. And there's a little island here. That's kind of cool. Oh, look at how perfect this is. This will show you how clear the water is here. The only reason you can't see all the way to the bottom in the turquoise water is because it's 10 feet deep. I'm gonna get over there by the river. Oh, thorns everywhere. Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in. So that's about 3.5 feet deep right there. And you can still see it, but you can also make out the rock that's coloring it with that sandstone or limestone rock. Look at this mess right here. Don't, no, 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 nope, no. You could tell that's where a beaver goes in. And you could tell that's where the beaver's home is. Come here. I would not park under that tree. And then when you get down to the trunk, it's all chewed up. It's all rotted. Ooh, there's not much left. The only thing keeping that tree up is that it's been up for so long. All the branches are broken. I mean, it's the analogy as old as time itself. The tree that gets to the top and above everyone else has all the sunlight, right? But it also gets the brunt of all the wind, and it's the first one to come down. So it's like ideally you don't want to stick too far above the forest, but you want to have your own patch of sunlight, right? It's kind of weird. Look at this. It's fresh dirt kicked out from the last time it rained. See how fresh that? It's a completely different color than the other dirt, so you know that that's a den that's active every night. That's why you gotta tie up your boat. So the houseboat fits here. It's deeper here. Why don't I have it here? Right? See the way the grass is? See the way the leaves are caught up on the trees? When the floods come through, see how everything's pushed against here? When the floods come through here, they come right off the hill, over the land, into this water. And then you notice over there where there's no leaf piles at all. Nothing ever floods over on that side. Right? This is the opposite side where the flood would come from that side and go out the other washout, the other side of here. This is only a backfill where my boat is. No current ever goes through there, and you can see it just from a couple of different signs I'm going to show you. But my boat being right there means that it won't get pushed with trees, or maybe I might have to move 10 feet back because something could catch right there. But it won't get pushed on or blown out or anything like that with current being there. If it was in here, it would get pushed under that tree. She acts so tough. Wait till I hiss. Watch. Piss out there. You go inside. You checking on me? I had to yell at the cat. Just sitting outside in my rocking chair eating dinner by the creek. See where the sun is over there? We got about 2 hours left before it goes down. And there's going to be a little bit of a wind rush and then a little bit of a rain as soon as it gets dark. And I'm going to sit here in my chair and watch these trees move around in the storm. No, you ain't doing nothing there. Stay here. Okay. I'm looking to see what else could fall. I think we should back out of here a little bit. River, get back. Yeah, I think we should back out of here a little bit.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. But it's on the table.
I'm kind of mad at myself for not moving the boat ahead of time. I saw those winds getting pretty obscene coming through that creek, and if I would have backed away, it would have made me feel a lot better when that log fell. I don't know, I felt like I was just being lazy. So it's one of those things that's going to make you stay on your toes. This is a rough night. It's yet another storm. I can hear trees breaking. I have my boat parked in a place where I feel safe. The trees around me are not strong enough to break through the roof if they would fall, and they look like they're strong, young, healthy, flexible trees. Birch, river birch actually. So one more night, one more episode. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, follow, share, like. River and Cricket say hi. You can see the reflection of that one in the water really well.